Treasury Metals, the next gold producer from Ontario in Canada. Well, Chris, welcome. Treasury Metals, you are the president and CEO of the company, and you want to bring the next gold mine of Ontario in production. So can you give us a little bit of an overview about the company?
Yeah, certainly. I'd love to. We're very excited about the project. It's got 1.47 million ounces of gold down to a very shallow depth of only 500 meters below surface. It's located, as you said, in northwestern Ontario. Ontario is a very friendly mining jurisdiction in Canada, very stable. It's got the benefit of a lot of infrastructure in place between power, pipeline for gas, natural gas, roads, right off the Trans-Canada Highway, and located only 20 minutes from the town of Dryden, Ontario, which is a town of 7,500 people. It's had a pulp and paper mill there for over 40 years, so a very industrialized town, lots of skilled labor. So it really reduces upfront capital cost, not only the town, but combined with the infrastructure in place.
How much capital you need?
Which is why we only see 133 million initial capex in Canadian dollars.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that brings me, of course, to the next thing. You did a preliminary economic assessment. Can you maybe give us an idea what the numbers are, what you found out, why, let's say, the project is so sexy?
Yeah, no, I've only been on board for 5 months now, and one of the first things I noticed was we didn't have an economic assessment of our updated 43101 resource from 2015. So we jumped right on top of that, so we had a current document to talk to people about, and we saw a significant increase in the NPV of the project. In 2012, it was originally 133 million NPV. With the update, we see it now at 306 million Canadian. And our capex increased by $66 million in the update as well. So you can see it's a very robust project, and as gold price varies, it doesn't have near the impact that it would have if we were down with 133 million NPV. So we're very pleased with the results of the PEA, and we're now looking to move forward with a feasibility study here in August of this year.
Fantastic. And I think also important is the cost side of the project. I mean, what are the cash costs and the AIC, the all-in sustaining costs?
Yeah, and again, very impressed with how all this worked out with respect to costs. We're seeing the all-in sustaining cost coming in at $611 US. And the cash cost operating cost is at $525 US.
Where do you see then, let's call it the real all-in cost? I mean, all-in sustaining cost covers, I would say, like 90% of the cost, but there are always some G&A, I call it surprise cost. What would you say from your experience as a mine builder, because you're a very experienced mine builder from your profession, where do you think finally the cost will settle?
Based on the PEA, we ran the numbers for all-in cash costs, so that's throwing everything into the numbers. It came out at $700 US.
Wow, that's still
so again,
really
a very attractive cost profile for the project.
Fantastic. Moving forward, I mean, you have a busy year this year and also next year. Maybe you can give us and our viewers an idea what would be the work program for this year and for next year.
Certainly. So we came out with a strategic update March 1st, and we outlined a number of milestones we're going to move the company through. As I mentioned just previously, we're looking at starting a feasibility study in August of this year. That'll take 10 months to complete, so that'll put us the middle of 2018. At the same time, we've progressed our permitting now. We've been in that for 2 years, and we expect to come out the other side with our federal EA permit at the end of 2018. So everything is aligning perfectly for us to start construction in 2019, which will then have us pouring gold Q4 of 2020. At the same time, we realize we're moving into a bit of a slow time doing all the hard work, I call it, which is the studies and the feasibility study and the permitting. So we're also looking at doing some exploration drilling as well. So that'll happen starting the end of June. We'll have a drill turning again on site and get to see what we can find with respect to checking out along strike to see if there's additional high-grade ore shoots there.
Fantastic. So that would enable you also to do a new resource estimate?
Yeah, so our plan, we did 13,500 meters of drilling last year, and then we plan on doing another 30,000 meters of drilling before the feasibility study will be completed. So we're looking at updating the 43101 resource once more to take into account all the drilling that we've done so that we have the most robust resource to finish the feasibility study with.
Wow, fantastic. So yeah, sounds to me like a great plan, because you are working to make the fundamentals even harder and more solid, and I really like that. And okay, let's talk about some finances, of course. I mean, you have a great shareholder structure. As far as I know, you have a lot of shareholders here in Switzerland even. And let's say, what is money in the bank and what's going on there from that side?
Yeah, as you point out, we do have a large shareholder base here in Europe with about 45% of our shares being held over here. So that's a big reason for this is my first trip over to Europe. We've been to London. We're here now in Switzerland. Plan to go to Germany and a few other stops, Austria.
Yeah.
So certainly we're out trying to meet all of our shareholders and explain to them what the plan is going forward. We think there's significant value to be realized in the company compared to where we are right now. If you look at our PNAV with our updated PEA, we're trading at about 0.29 to PNAV. If you look at our
cheap,
peers,
isn't
it is. When you look at our peers, similar stages, they're trading at 0.7 to 1. So if you look at that, I think we have lots of room to get our story back in front of people, get recognition for that, and start to improve on all the metrics in the business.
Yeah, fantastic.
We just completed an $8 million financing, which closed today. So we're now in a position where we've got the money in place to push ahead with the feasibility study, complete the permitting, start knocking these milestones off. And I think, again, we'll start to see respect and awareness in the market with Treasury Metals.
Absolutely. Last question from your, let's say, work life you have done so far. Maybe you can elaborate a bit what qualifies you to really build that mine.
Yeah, I spent, I'm a mine engineer is my background, and I've spent 15 years mine contracting. And then I went onto the company side with Lakeshore Gold back in 2008 when we built the Timmins West mine. And then I moved over to Liberty Mines, which was a nickel producer out of Timmins. And then the last 2.5 years, I was at Kirkland Lake Gold as the vice president of operations there.
Wow.
So I was responsible for running all the operations. We turned Macassa around from a negative cash flow company to a positive cash flow company and levered that success to make the St. Andrew acquisition in January of 2016, which was hugely accretive to the company. And then unfortunately, I left at the end of September with a change in CEO, but that opened up this opportunity for myself to come and build a new gold mine in northwestern Ontario, which I'm very excited about.
Fantastic. That was a great final word. Chris, thank you very much, and we wish you all the success for that. And we want to hear soon some good updates.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chris Stewart, the president and CEO of Treasury Metals. And you heard that this will become, definitely the next gold miner, the next gold producer in Ontario, in Canada. The company is well settled up. And I would say Chris, with his CV he has shown so far, is really able to bring the company in production. Enough money in the bank for this year to fulfill the work programs, and in 2.5 years they should pour the first gold bars. So we look forward to that, and we keep you posted. I'm your host, Jochen Steiger, Commodity TV, in partnership with Dukascopy TV. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Geneva.